Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
This is Eric.
Yeah, today is the 13th of May 2021 and the time now is 6:16 a.m. Well, today our topic is sharing your thoughts about this math exam question in China. If a ship had 26 sheep and 10 goats on board, how old is the ship's captain? So before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. Yep, so today, firstly, when I first saw this question, I thought it is something like uh, a mathematic questions which we can um, use use the information provided on uh, this short sentence and then get the answer. Yep, and then
Mm.
I found that yeah, it is um, uh, no clue to me. Yeah, and then
Mm.
I couldn't answer, and I tried to check the answer from the internet. Yeah, to type the same question, and
Mm.
then yeah, I found it. Yeah, and after seeing the answer, yeah, and found that yeah, actually we can still somehow to find some clue from the information uh stated in this question.
Oh, so what's the answer?
Okay, firstly, I have to say there is no one correct answer for this question. It is this question is designed not to have a one correct answer. It's something like to ask you to answer this question and to analyze and then uh give your reason to support the answer, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then one answer that I found, which I think is uh quite well explained, and the reason is supporting quite well, which they say uh they use the average weight of the ship and then the gods, and then uh they kind of to figure out the total weight of the ship and the goat on the board on the ship, and then once they get the figure, and then it linked to some general knowledge, which uh, if um, if a captain need to uh, uh, sail the ship, I mean to something like to be in charge of a boat, a ship that is yeah, because the ship also kind of like the vehicles on the road. You need to get the license or the certificate in order to drive small or big vehicles. So the
Mm.
same for the ship, and then they try to get uh, they use the figure of the total weight, and then to figure out how big is the ship roughly, and then also use this way um, to find out how many years uh, can a person get this kind of license. Yeah, and then
Mm.
before talking about license, one must be more than 18 years old, right, to in charge in this kind of uh, sailor job. And then if it is
Mm.
a captain, it must be more than 18, right? And then they try to add up a few years, and then to find out something like at least this captain must be uh, how many years old, something like that.
Mm. Yeah, but the question is how old is the ship's captain? It's not the
Mm,
question is not how old at least is the ship captain,
mm,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So how about you? Did you have a better uh, well-explained answer for this?
Okay. Before I tell you this,
Mm.
and I would like to ask you a question.
Mm.
Yeah, actually, it's two questions. Okay. The first is about you yourself, and another is to the mass. So that's mean to the public or students.
Okay.
And because you're a teacher, you maybe you have some clue about the student psychology or about the student how they answering the question. Okay, the
Okay, I
first
try it.
mm, and okay uh actually okay before I ask you the question, I would like to tell you actually this question is not only occurred in the China. Yeah, it's actually first originated in some other Western country.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Okay. And okay, the question is, if you face this question in exam, what will you
Mm.
answer?
Um. Okay. For me, yeah, I think if I first came across this question and uh, without having tried some other similar questions before like this, I will use the figure provided in this question, like 26 plus 10, maybe.
Plus 10, right?
Yeah,
36.
36.
Because we cannot
Yeah.
use like 26 multiply 100 because there is no person who can live 260 years.
Yeah. Right.
And we also cannot do like the divide. We also cannot do like the subtraction. Subtraction is not appropriate. We
Yeah,
only get
16.
16. Mm, yeah. So okay. Uh, based on the research, based on some statistic, most of people will answer the question. And why is the answer is 26 plus 10, 36?
Yeah.
Because this is quote unquote more logical.
Mm.
And uh and also the second largest group of people will just leave it blank. Yeah, leave it blank. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they don't know how to answer. They just leave it blank. Yeah, but actually the most of people will answer. They'll try to
Mm.
answer.
Yep.
But because they don't know how to do the calculation, they just use 26 plus 10, 36.
Yeah.
Yeah, so uh based on the historical uh statistic, yeah, it seems like only 1% or less than 1%, yeah, people or student can answer this question correctly. Okay.
Mm.
And okay, this is about you and me. Okay. And how about other student? Is this statistic aligned with your understanding about like your student or about the student in Malaysia?
Okay, wait a minute. Just now you say only around 1% or less than 1% of students can answer this question correctly. So
Mm,
do you mean that this question has a correct answer?
yeah. Mm, yeah.
Oh.
So yeah. Yeah. I had to give you some compliments. Yeah, because uh I don't believe in the past you can you can catch one sentence and listen so carefully uh, and then get the get the implication. Yeah, yeah, get the implication from my talking. But now it seems like you can do that. So even though it's just one sentence, but it seems like your listening skill and also maybe understanding skill
Mm.
already improve a lot.
Yeah.
This is good thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a correct answer. So that means
Mm.
the answer must be one. Yeah, because
Okay.
correct answer means there's only one answer.
All right. So if this talk about bring to my let's say bring this question to my students, and I think yeah, also they will only have two type of uh questions answers, and the first one is like 26 plus 10, and another one is leave it blank. And I uh I think they will have more students that they just leave this question blank.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like to give up. Yeah, and then for some students that they like to be something like creative,
Mm.
yeah, they may answer this question.
Mm. Yeah. One of the problem in our education system is we try to educate our students. Don't leave it blank. Yeah.
Mm.
If you cannot get any idea about the question, try to write something, because
Yeah.
you won't get a negative mark. Yeah,
Mm.
you won't your mark won't be deducted if you answer wrongly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it actually makes the students, make the students uh and I can say like the stage one is they will leave it blank, and then the stage two, which is the current education system, and also teacher teach student from stage one to stage two, which is you answer simply, or not maybe simply, but logically, but maybe this is not the correct answer, but you can guess. Mm. So this
Mm.
is the stage one, and then another is the stage two. Okay, so uh, if if there are many people uh they leave it blank, so that means in this education system it didn't like teach it didn't like cultivate the mindset of student. You have to try to solve the question, you have
Mm.
to try to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Mm. You cannot leave the problem. Mm. Yeah, you cannot leave the problem to be unsolved. So it actually also apply to your life. Mm. We can have many problems in our life, but does we leave it blank, or we try to solve the problem even though it may not uh, it may not be solved at the first, but we need to try and
Mm.
error. Mm. Yeah. So this is good thing. Yeah, this is good thing. And then, but 36 is, of course, is not the correct answer. Yeah. And
Mm.
also like just now what you say about like the average, take the average of sheep, uh yeah,
Mm.
and then take the average of the goat, and then try to get the total weight, and
Yeah.
then use that information to determine uh uh the ability and then the requirement of the ship license.
Mm.
Yeah, ship driving license, and then determines and use that to determine the ship captains. This is also not the correct answer. Mm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because at first it didn't answer this question correctly. Mm. Yeah. So this question is not at least. This question is quote unquote is. Yeah. What is? Yeah. What is? Yeah.
Mm.
How is? So it's not at least. And then another question. Another thing is, this is a math exam. Yeah. So this is a mathematic exam. Yeah. Because mathematic exam, you need you have only one answer, right?
Um, mostly, yeah.
Why you say mostly?
There could be some situation that we have the greater than sign, right? which is something like an arrow to the right, and then the arrow to the left is less than. It may not be the equal sign, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But mostly we need the one exact answer.
Yeah. I think what you're talking about is about something like the graph. For example, we have x and also we have y. So we need to let the x less than something, or maybe the y equal or greater than something, so we can make the equation remain true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. There's also a premise, which is you need to make the equation true. So what's the equation? The equation is for example 3x plus 2y equal to 5. Yeah, if you can plug in any number, if you the question is actually ask you what number will make the equation true. So you cannot just answer one number. For example, you cannot like 3x plus, let's say like 3x plus 2y equal to 5. You cannot like x equal to 1, and then 3x plus 2y, so x equal to 1, y also equal to 1. So it makes the equation true. You cannot answer like this. So that means the answer must be x equal to 1, y equal to 1. It's not this case. So the question is actually asking you to make the equation true. It doesn't ask you to provide the exact the exact number, the only one number, the exact number for x and y. Yeah, this is not that question. So you need to know what is the question.
Yeah. Like the topic today, if the question changed to how old can the ship captain be, then we can expect more than one answer, right?
Yes. Yeah. So there's also one answer, but the answer is like more than or less than.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also one answer. There is one answer. Yeah. So x less or equal than 15, or y, and also y greater or equal than 5. This is also one answer. I'm not sure whether you catch my point. So it depends how the question asks you, but at the end there's only one answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, the answer can ask you just now like you say, how the x can be, how the y can be. So you must provide the answer how the x can be. For example, more than 15, how the y can be less than 5. This is the only one answer. So the only one answer doesn't mean that a lot of number. So it means the only one answer doesn't mean that you can only have one number. You can multiple number. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the first is this question is require you to give an exact number, which is how old is the ship captain. So the second is actually, this is a mathematic exam question. This is not something like statistic, and it's also not something like the some other topic, for example like moral, or maybe like other like language, or something like essay.
Yeah.
You can have you can have more than one answer. So that this is mathematics. And then the question also specific, ask you how old is. So that means you must give an exact number to this question. Yeah. So that and then actually for me I also cannot find the answer. And then after I search online, and then I found that actually the answer is very simple. Okay, what's the answer? The answer is there is no sufficient information for this question.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mm.
in order to answer the question. So this is just that simple. Yeah, because it's true that there is no sufficient information to answer the question. Yeah, so actually this is the answer to this question. So as long as you write something like this, maybe you got grammar mistake, or maybe yeah, you have like the vocab mistake, but the teacher will also mark it correct. So why this is the answer? Why is what why, and also why they want to give you this kind of question, want to test you in exam.
Yeah. Yeah. So the correct answer should be something like undefined, right, for this question.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
No,
and then
I think you cannot say like cannot answer. You cannot say like this. You need to really specific state that there is no information.
yeah.
Yeah. From the question. So you cannot say like I cannot answer. Yeah. It cannot be answered. It cannot be solved like this. Yeah. But why it cannot be solved? Because insufficient information.
Mm.
Mm.
Yep.
So why this is the answer? Actually no, why, right? Because yeah, it's just because insufficient information. So it cannot be answered. Yeah. So this is the why. Then another why is why they want to uh give this answer, give this question in mathematics exam.
Yeah. Yeah. Firstly, this question is really uncommon. Yeah. If it really came out in in the exam, and okay, I try to think of the purpose for making this question out. Okay. Okay. I think to answer this question, one also need to think, and then um yeah, it is not just like you see this answer, you see this question and you know the answer. You also need to consider a few things, like firstly, to find out the relationship between the age and the information that the question give you. Yeah, and then it seems simple, and almost all the students can find that the number of the sheep and the goats is nothing related to the age of the captain. But it seems like the next one is the willingness, and maybe is the confidence to one person to whether to write out uh, uh, the um, the expected answer, and Yeah, so I think maybe this one they want to test students confidence, and then also the willingness to solve a question. Yeah.
So that's it.
Um, yeah, that's what I can think of.
Yeah, good try. Um, okay, and for the okay, for the part of that, like train student not to leave it blank. Yeah, it is good. Yeah, it's good. But actually, this is not the purpose for this question. And actually, the teachers and also uh, the question creator, the exam question creator. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, the exam question creator saw saw the statistic and also saw the question saw the students answer. I think they must feel depressed. Yeah,
Yeah.
and actually, yeah, right, they answer. Yeah, they have answer. Yeah, they have answer, and but uh they answer 36.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is not something we want to teach our students, and it may indicate uh some side of our education system fail to do something, fail to achieve something of yeah. So our students cannot answer uh this question. Yeah, because if you know the answer and this question is so easy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Mm. And actually this question is came up in primary school. Yeah, primary
Yeah.
school. It's not like the college. It's not like the university.
Mm.
So that uh yeah. And what the question really want to teach you is actually just to talk about confidence. And yeah, this is one of the part. You need to confident with your answer. Yeah. So it's not something like confident to write something. At least you need
Yeah.
to write something. It's not that confident. It's confident to your understanding.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think most of the people can know that number of ship and then the age of the captain is totally unrelated, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but somehow we just don't write it out that
Mm,
don't have enough information and they are unrelated, something like that.
yeah. So you need to confident uh with your understanding, and also you may think, yeah, the question is wrong. Yeah, the question is wrong. But if let's say the question is wrong, and you also need to answer because there is a question. Yeah, even though the question uh have have some mistake, okay, but how the teacher will mark the exam. Yeah, they will according to the wrong question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they definitely will according to the wrong question. They will not tell you, oh, actually this question come out wrong, so I changed something. Yeah, I changed the shape to another variable, and I also changed the goal to another variable. So yeah, so how is the ship captain? Yeah, right, it's 36.
Yeah.
Yeah, the exam the exam uh the exam marker don't have this don't have this uh authority to do that. Yeah. Okay, so what the question really want to teach us, the first is confidence, and also the second is mathematics. mathematics, this subject is not the subject that allow you to answer, to only apply and answer some question came out in exam. Mathematics, this subject is actually a general knowledge and also an applicable knowledge, which is the applied knowledge. Yeah, so you need to apply mathematics to your real life and then help yourself to solve your life problem.
Yeah.
So that in your real life, there is no person or there is no question asked given. Yeah, there's no question given, and then tell you how do you calculate something. Yeah. So you just need to provide answer. It's not like that. You also need to find the question. You need to find a question by yourself. For example, now you look at two data sets. Yeah, the first is like 2019. Let's say this is a revenue for 2019 and 2020. And you look at these two data sets, and then you want to do some mathematical calculation. Okay. And then the first you may try to find, what's the increment or the decrease or the increment, and also the decrease in percentage, and also like in absolute amount. So you may use, for example, if you want to use find the difference, find the changes, would you use 2020 will you use 2019 minus 2020? No, you should use 2020 minus you should use 2020 amount minus 2019. And also if you want to find the percentage, you also need to use 2020 minus 2019 and have a bracket. And then divided by 2019. Yeah, it's divided by 2019 because this is the base. It's not divided by 2020. So you need to find, what you want to get from this data set to use the mathematics to give you additional information. So that you also need to find your question. And also, for example, if you want to like okay, if you have two ways to exchange your currency, let's say from Sing dollar to Malaysian ringgit, and then you want to calculate which way will be more cheaper, will be cheaper, so will be less expensive. The admin fee is the least, and you also need to know you also need to like think how to calculate what information you need. What is the irrelevant information? You only use relevant information to calculate, and if you don't have enough information, then that means you cannot do the calculation. You cannot simply do you cannot simply use 26 plus 10 and equal to 26.
Right.
This will not solve your problem. If you don't have sufficient information, you will just you can't solve. So maybe you can try to find the relevant information, and then so that you can do the calculation. So, and then if there is no sufficient information you can found, okay, you try and then cannot found, and then you cannot simply do the calculation. You should leave it unsolved. You should leave it unsolved first. And then after you get the information, after you get the relevant information, then you do the calculation. You cannot simply do the calculation. So this is actually this question I want to teach us. So mathematics is a general and applied subject, applied knowledge. So it's not something like you can only use and apply in exam. So this is critical and this is very, very important. So you can see many people, they learn like 12 years or maybe 18 years, 18 years mathematics. And then after they leave the school, they seldom apply mathematics to to their real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then mathematics. Uh, how to apply mathematics to your real life is not know how many equations. It's not like maybe you don't know like maybe you forget the uh what is it called 九九乘法表.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you forget some equation, or maybe you forget how to calculate. Yeah. But you can search online. You can use your
Yeah.
calculator.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So it actually require you to have the thinking. Yeah. But now we actually talk at the for normal person. We not talk at like the engineer, and also talk at like the data scientist. Okay. Yeah. Of course. They need higher level. They need higher level of understanding about the mathematics. For example, they need to know like the logarithms. For example, like the log. Log. We learn this, but we don't know. We don't know what's the use. Yeah, right. The log. And also we also learn a lot this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the sine, sine,
Sine,
cos,
cosine,
tan.
tangent.
Yeah, and we also don't know. Yeah.
Mm.
We just know how to apply this in exam, but we don't know how to apply this in our real life. But it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Never mind. Yeah, because you are not data scientist. You are not like the engineer. So it's okay. Yeah. So yeah. So it is important. It is really really important. But even for me, I also couldn't answer this question. I don't have that mindset to write something like there's no sufficient information to answer the question. I don't have that mindset to write this sentence out in exam. Yeah, even though I can apply mathematics quite well in my real life, but I also don't have that awareness that I actually can write this answer in exam.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. So I think this question really teach us a lot. And maybe you can also ask this question to your student, and then explain to them, why this is important. I think this question is really well demonstrate uh what is mathematics.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so anything else?
Yeah, one more thing. I am not sure whether you are taking the exam the same year as me. One time we have some errors in the statistic exam. Did you experience that?
No.
Oh, yeah. In that exam, actually, the there is no because we have the something like the table,
Okay.
which we can refer to when we do statistic, right? Yeah, and then the year that I took statistic exam, the examiner they forgot to provide the table to students.
Oh, yeah. It seems like I have some memory about this. Then
Yeah.
then what's the ending?
And then at that time, I remember that I did write something like table is not given on the question. I did write something like this, and table is not provided, so I couldn't get the figure, something like that. Yeah, and instead of leaving it blank, and then I try to do to the step that can I mean, I stopped before I need to use the table. Yeah, something like that. And then at that time, I also heard uh, many students they complain to the invigilator. yeah, the teacher that govern the exam in the classroom. And then because they are local teacher, right? So they cannot do anything. And yeah, at that time, some people are really uh, anxious. And then also after the exam, I try to ask my friend, what did you write on the answer for that question? And then some people say, I leave it blank. And some people say, I try to um, also try to do it and then stop before the step we need to use the table. Yeah, just like me. Yep. So this is, I think, one of um, the real thing that really happened. And but what happened next is they actually give us a chance to retest this subject, and we have to go again for this subject.
Oh, yeah. It seems like I have some memory. And then you all need to take 2 times the exam, right? 2 times the same
Yeah,
exam, right?
yeah, yeah. But it's different questions, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, is that table is uncalculated? So, because for example, we know for some table, for example, like the net present. Sorry, I mean the discount factor. You
Yeah,
know what discount factor? And
yeah,
that kind of if you lack of that kind of table, you still can calculate the the information you need. Yeah,
yeah.
it,
Like
it,
one
it will
year
just
after another, right? To
yeah it
calculate
yeah
out.
it will just like cost you some time. I'm not sure
Yeah.
whether it's that table. Yeah, but maybe it's like something like the normal distribution table.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like that one.
So yeah, that one really yeah, really I it is not uncalculated, but it will spend you a lot of time to calculate,
Yeah,
and we didn't learn how to calculate. We just take the table and use.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah. So
anything
that's
else?
all for my sharings.
Okay. So that's all for our today conversations. How do you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? Please tell us what you think of our conversation. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocab or grammar mistake that we make, please also comment to let us know, because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like and subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.